we will start the Gauntlet After Show, and it's been one hell of a run. And we are going to do interviews with all the participants, and we will be doing drawings, and we will be seeing exactly who won and stuff like that. And for those wondering who won, first overall is Darky, and second overall is SSS111. Yeah, we're going to interview every single participant in the gauntlet. So we're going to be doing this for the next 26 days. And we're going to start now with Vizniz. He is rank 1 Templar.
Hello.
Hello. You're very quiet. One sec. Let me turn you up. There. Try talking.
Hello, 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 hello.
Still very quiet. Okay, you're 200%.
Let me see if I can do something about that, I guess.
Yeah. How quiet is it for you guys, chat?
Hello.
Hi.
I think that's about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this. You sound like the Giga Chat emote.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
All right, congratulations on winning rank 1 Templar. How are you feeling?
It was very good. I'm glad the event's over. Nothing against you or the event. But I did get to play Templar the way I always wanted to play it for a long time, which was just not taking damage and see how far you go.
Oh, yeah, you were incredibly tanky. And did you die at all during this event? Any rerolls?
Yeah, so my initial class was Saboteur, actually. I don't remember. Oh, I remember what I died to. I died to Twilight Temple Solaris boss. Like one shot me with a spear. So
Damn.
that was a new thing. Then I rerolled champion, and I leap slammed into a pack and died in my first map. Then
Nice.
I took a break, and then I rolled Templar.
And then you never died. Well, I mean, eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually.
eventually I gave up to Shaper. I just
Yeah, so what happened? You got hit by a slam?
Yeah, so I was trying to do the challenge, which was fill the entire arena with the degen pools while it's Maven witnessed, and like I can normally tank the slams, but I had just become lax and didn't have charges, didn't have enduring cry, didn't have anything, and I just died,
Damn.
which was honestly fine.
I was just browsing your gear while you were talking as well. I'm surprised you have so much crafted life on your gear and still so much life.
Yeah, I I had a lot of emphasis on the suffixes of my gear because like suppression's so important, and then you need to get res, but then you still want like physical damage mitigation on your chest and shield possibly, and then you want endurance charges. So
Well,
anything that has good life on my gear was something I spent exalteds on and harvest reforging
that
for the
makes sense.
prefix.
So it looks like you won around we'll have final calculations around tomorrow, but it's around $1,600.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's great money to take home. So congratulations on that. How do you feel about this gauntlet compared to other ones? Because you've done well in a lot of gauntlets.
I I think the bossing of this one is extremely fun. I think everything else was miserable, like extremely painful.
That's
And
fair.
I think it's just the emphasis of it's not necessarily that the 100% damage, which is like a problem. Like I don't mind most monsters going up, but then you have a couple monsters like molten shell goats or something that instead of being dangerous just kill you if you see them. Like and that's you have to have such a nervous play style that it's just not enjoyable for me.
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna get a lot of similar feedback with that. And we obviously we are looking to have either like scaling mods in the future. It's just hard to see what TGD can let us do. But harder bossing and easier mapping is definitely heavily requested.
Yeah, I was anticipating something of that nature when we saw. So they released this new league, and the league's great. And we have new bosses, and they gave them tags. There's pinnacle bosses,
I
and
asked
then
for
Gauntlet
that.
didn't have tags. I know. I assume you and Viro and everyone like dug into them for it, but I was sad to see that we hadn't moved to that yet. But I
Yeah.
am hoping for the future.
I know. I'll just be basically linking them like Exile's death, my death, and a few others, and be like, please let us have more boss specific things. But yeah, no, it'll hopefully just get better and better. But thank you so much for participating, and just killing it as always.
Yeah, I thank you guys as like you and your whole team once again for hosting the event. It's always fun. I love watching the cast and going back, watching the rip clips, watching, various people's streams. It's an enjoyable experience, whether you're like grinding it out or if you're just viewing, honestly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, dude. Hoping to see you in the next Gauntlet. Everybody, give it up for Vizniz. Amazing performance as always. And thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care.
Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend. Can you guess who it is? I should ask if he's ready for interview. Um, let's see. There.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
How are you doing? Let's see. Yeah, turn on your cam and then I'll put that on screen as well. Let's see. How are you doing? Congratulations on rank 3 overall and rank 1 duelist.
Awesome.
How did you feel about this gauntlet compared to past gauntlets?
Uh, for me personally, it's about the same difficulty, but obviously that's not gonna be true for probably anybody else. That's just because what I was playing was like Giga Z DPS the last gauntlet,
Yeah.
and so I ended up with a much better build in the end in this gauntlet.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting. Obviously, we saw a lot of people complaining about mapping and stuff like that. How did you feel about that compared to other people?
I mean, mapping is, I think, genuinely the hardest part of this gauntlet. And when we had the Fez as added of each element, that was also the same thing during those gauntlets. It's just like the mapping is so insanely stressful.
Yeah, how did you feel about moving away from Fizz's added elemental damage and more to generic damage?
Uh, I think this version is probably better overall because, I mean, most of the spells, especially with the introduction of spell suppression, uh, a lot of stuff just wouldn't do damage.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people enjoyed not having to do like absolutely forced ailment immune. So that was good. And like I said to Vizniz, we're hoping to do more boss specific mods in the future.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Hmm?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
To go in that direction if we can.
And you are winning around finalized tomorrow, but you're winning around $1,750 for your first overall duelist and third place bounty as well.
Big kids.
So congratulations on that. Do you how do you feel about like all the bosses and stuff? Did you like the introduction of the Feared?
I think it's good. I think everybody who wanted to potentially do it got to potentially do it
Yeah.
because, I mean, everybody else is dead. They were died long before that point.
Yeah, true. Is there anything you feel like was too much RNG, or is it in a pretty good spot now?
I think RNG is important to keep a game like this interesting. So, I mean, there's always going to be some.
Yeah.
Like for me, for example, I did I think 18 Eater of Worlds, didn't get the jewel.
Oh
So,
no.
I mean, there's RNG there.
Wow. I feel like, were you farming the Eater after having the Jewel at all, or were you only farming it for the Jewel?
Only for the jewel. I mean, you can always use the currency, and that just became my normal mapping.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That was crazy. We've seen some very very long Eater Worlds fights, and we actually had people die to it as well. So it's
What?
yeah, somebody didn't log out from the explosion. But yeah, anything that was like surprised you with the difficulty at all?
Mm, it actually, on like a good actual character, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The early game though is misery, and like somewhere around like level 90, my character started like the game started getting easier and feeling easier, but like everything before like level 90-ish, like the game was just like misery.
Oh, yeah, it was especially leveling was first two acts in particular I just hated. But yeah, it's been an interesting gauntlet, and thank you so much for participating. Absolute Giga Chad performance, and we're
Yeah, I
hoping
did a little
to.
bit better than I thought I would.
Well, you always knock it out of the park. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and yeah, thank you so much for participating.
Thanks.
Awesome, everybody, give it up for Alk. Thank you so much, dude.
GG noobs.
All right, we'll see you for some Dota soon. I'll see you later, dude.
No.
All right. All right. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Next up. Are you all ready? Let's see. Let me see if he's ready. All right. Next up is Jungroan. Hello.
So, hey man.
Do we get a Jungroan camera?
Holy shit.
Also, you're a
Yeah.
little quiet. Oh, I can turn you up actually.
Little on the I have you really loud right now.
Let's see. I don't see a camera.
Probably not. I'm a little shy on camera.
That works.
You know.
That works. I know how it
Okay.
is. Oh, there it is. There it is. Could you be louder?
Can I be louder? I suppose so. Let me do that. No. I can't be louder. My mic is already maxed out.
Okay.
I can like talk really deeply into my mic.
That works. That actually works, I think.
Okay. It's gonna be horrible.
Let's see.
Okay.
I can turn it up slightly. That's maxed on my end. Hopefully that's fine. And chat can let me know.
You mean to yell? Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
But yeah. How do you feel about Gauntlet this time around?
I mean it's fun. I don't think I probably enjoyed it more than most other people. Like I really like dying, so
You really like dying? Gauntlet's perfect for you then. Like that's what it's all about. I really like killing people. You really like dying. It's perfect. You there?
what's up the audio?
I don't know. What's happening? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Oh, word. Can you hear me now?
No.
Hello?
I mean I can hear you on stream. It's like a really weird hi, what? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Weird. Maybe
Okay.
one of the Discord servers were DCing or something. There. I thought you were baiting me, but I think the Discord server was like orange on my end.
I know. I don't bait people.
No, it's all good. But yeah, congratulations on winning around $1,300.
Sick. Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
First overall ranger. So tell us a little bit about your gauntlet journey and like what different characters you played.
I started with the Scion as the Ballista. There's like it's really similar to the Ranger actually that I just played through. But it was supposed to be like I think it had maybe I don't know 60k more armor in the end game. But then I just like never got it there and I died to a Fizz Golem, like one of those white golems that Nick died to.
Yeah.
I ended up rolling on a champ which was basically the build that Alk ended up on, and then died to Brutus Slam. I just face tanked. I didn't proc Adrenaline for like in my entire mapping experience, and then I died to the Brutus Slam, which I didn't. I looked at it afterwards, and the high roll does about as much as Shaper Slam. So 2 fist hits. Rolled a Chieftain, died while I was in your chat, and then
Yeah,
ended up
so
on this horrible build, which is like the worst thing ever. I hated everything about the build I'm playing right now. It is terrible.
wow. So what about EA, for example? Was that better or worse than you thought it would be?
Yeah, I have like 2 big things about EA, I think. The first is that the progression is really reliant on 3 pieces, right? Rain of Splinters,
Yeah.
Porcupine, Deity, and Dawn. If you miss one of those, your build's kind of scuffed. I didn't get Deity in like the whole gauntlet. And I think most people in their EA setups don't have it exactly right. So they're missing out on like 50 to 60% DPS, which I think is just like really, really bad. And like missing out a ton of recovery as well. But I think that people are underrating it a lot, especially because all the top players don't play that build.
Yeah.
So I just think it has, well, not like the top 5 in particular don't
Yeah,
play
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think potential.
I didn't get Rain of Splinters on my second run, and I felt like that was a very big difference, especially in imitations, because like you get so much more damage uptime with Rain of Splinters, and I feel like the hardest thing with EA is just getting to the bosses. Once it gets there, it performs really well.
Yeah, it's got a good playstyle. I mean, I thought you could have cleared most of the content. Like, I mean, your death was really, it was just unlucky. Like, it's just,
I didn't
it
even
happens,
see
right?
Phoenix. I was so like preoccupied on Hydra, so Phoenix being at like the edge of my screen is it was pretty rough, pretty rough.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this continent compared to past ones, what do you feel about like the global damage instead of Vizniz?
I think Vizniz is bad because it's chill, right? Because of how chill works and you always get chilled all the way through, that makes it really not fun to play.
Yeah,
And the global damage issue was with Viz mitigation. Like, I think it was just a big. I mean, I feel like every gauntlet I roll up and I realize that I don't know anything about what happens in the game, like mob types and
yeah.
bosses and everything. I just die, right? And how much Viz damage in the game, which is like crazy.
It's
And like as far as I know,
crazy.
you've had the discussion about scaling mods and all that thing, but I still think that maybe with how many big hit deaths we had, like single hit deaths, especially things like Molten Shell would also be single hit deaths. If you think about it, just going extra turbo, like Giga Turbo, might have been still really hard bossing, still really fun encounters at the end, but not quite so ripping mapping unless you get zerged.
Yeah, no, I mean we definitely want to experiment with mods. It's also like it's interesting to try to balance beforehand. I definitely feel like I under respected just generic damage compared to like the higher number of Fizzes extra. Because even on maps, right, we get like 100, 110 Fizzes extra fire, but only 20 global damage. So it was interesting. But yeah. But yeah, I hope
White
you
gold,
had fun
yeah, like,
and you did an amazing performance.
thanks, man. So
Everybody, give it up for Jungroan. Hoping to see you in the next gauntlet. You always knock it out of the park, and looking forward to see what you do next time.
hopefully I'll do a real boss next time.
There's always next time. One gauntlet per league. Thank you so much, dude. And we'll see you for the next one. All right. Next up is Minimeow, rank 1 Marauder. Let's see. Marauder main, Ski Chad. Let's see. I need to find his Discord. Found him. Found him. Hello?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Uh, uh, it was a wonderfully grueling experience, but it's fine.
Nice. Yeah, it was definitely a very deadly gauntlet. It's an exhaustive gauntlet, I would say.
It was especially bad for me because I ended up killing probably more than 20 eaters at this point.
Damn. You were really going for melding.
In the so I find it a little bit sad that I didn't manage to record my death because I only record my boss kills usually.
Yeah.
But the way I died is by running out of mana because I was used to 8.5 days. I played with non-melding setup. And I had about 70 mana normally. And usually when I swap in Culling Strike, I usually link it to Tempest Shield and Shield Charge, and my mana goes down to 55, and it's perfectly playable. You can do double flame dashes with mana regen, and everything's fine. When I swapped over to the melding setup, I'd go down to 35 mana normally, and with Culling Strike, it goes down to 25. So I was farming Shapers for my Uber Elder set, and when I slotted in the last phase, Culling Strike, when I was dodging with the Flame Dash, one of the Shapers attacking me, I dodged into a puddle. And then I tried to dodge the Shaper Slam while I went down to about 6,000 HP and got slammed right on my head.
Oh no.
And I think I had the really, really good gear
Yeah,
for how
I
long
mean,
it lasted.
your gear actually looks insane. And rank 1 Marauder is no joke. And you did first Marauder at Ziri as well as first overall Marauder. So you're winning around $1,500.
That is amazing.
Yeah, no, like absolutely. Congratulations. And you've done a lot of past continents as well, right?
I usually only played Templar before, but
Yeah.
I really had to wrap my head around doing 100% increased damage with no real way of mitigating physical. So I thought if I die 1 or 2 times on the Chieftain, I would reroll Templar, but I died only once on Chieftain like 80 plus, and then I stayed with this character and had to farm a lot of maps to get my melding, and that was really, really exhausting in this gauntlet.
Was there any like really, really big surprises or anything you really liked about this gauntlet compared to other ones?
Unlike other people, I actually didn't mind the mapping part. I really have a problem with campaign difficulty and some specific fights like Izaro, for example, which are unreasonably difficult for what type of content they are. And I saw a lot of people dying to Izaro fireballs and just getting swiped. And generally speaking, my only issue was the campaign. I didn't actually have that many issues against slower mapping.
Awesome. So the next one is even harder then. No, I'll we'll see what we can do for making the next one even better. And yeah, thank you so much for participating as always and bringing a stellar performance, and congratulations on everything.
Thank you to you and Viro as well for organizing this event.
Thank you, dude. Let's give it up, everybody in chat, for Minimeow, rank 1 Marauder. And again, congrats, dude.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, there is one person left. One final interview. One final interview before we do some drawings. Benjamin. It's Ben. Let's see. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am doing great. How do I sound?
You sound great. Maybe loud. I will see what chat says. They're just spamming Giga Chat, so let's see, loud, I guess. I can fix that. There, try talking now.
Testing.
How's that chat? We good now? Okay, everyone's saying good. Congratulations on first overall, once again, and first overall Witch, and second overall Shadow.
Thank you. It was a very long and painful journey.
There's a lot here. It's you've got a lot of bounties. It's Witness Al Hasmin, Fast as Maukan, Witch at Ziri, and you read a minor bird poem, and you won approximately $5,000.
Nice.
That's pretty badass. I'm starting to feel like I'm funding your retirement at this point. Gotta keep making them
Yeah.
bigger.
It is very much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean it's appreciated how hard you go in the gauntlets. Like it really I think it really you put on a great show. It's always very fun to watch.
It's always very fun to play as well. This one actually was like honestly pretty chill. Just like the nature of it being a longer race, and you know that it's going to be longer from the start, means that you're actually allowed to like sleep and like do things that are responsible, like eat food.
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. Like I feel like I think the last one everyone was like, "Oh, it's in like 1 or 2 sessions," and that's like very stressful.
Yeah, generally, whenever it's like that fast, it's like 20 hours on, 4 hours off, 20 hours on, try to finish, and it's rough. Whereas this is like sure, every second you can instantly die to things while mapping, and you have to never blink, but it's fine. It was fun.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit like what was your scheduling and like how much were you awake? How much did you sleep for this gauntlet?
I got at least 6 hours every night, 7.5 in most, and I did like a little like around the clock loop to so I started waking up at like 2 p.m., which is 2 hours before the gauntlet start, and then ended the gauntlet with the goal of falling asleep at 5 p.m. so that it would like be able to play all the way to the end if I had to. I didn't have to because my character's health at 0.
Yeah. No, it was really really good. Obviously DD, I think something that made it like extremely strong and more strong than I had even thought was just the chill effect. I feel like that made a very big difference.
Yep, that is extremely good. Like there was a kind of weird power spike that I'm sure a lot of builds felt, but it was very noticeable with DD because of the chill. Where like in the campaign, like Dominus was my wake up call. He was actually trying to kill me, and he almost did, just with like auto attacks. Like he was so powerful. But then as you slowly like scale up and actually get the chill, it pretty much reverts back to like base game,
Yeah.
except everything does double damage. But that doesn't actually matter for DD because my DD character from League Start had half the armor and no VizDR. And then if
Yeah.
you just double the armor and add in 25% additional VizDR, you take less damage, even though the monsters deal double damage. So like it was all pretty chill.
It was really fun. I was watching your Uber Elder kill, and you really got to see how much of a difference it makes whenever one of them enter immunity. Because like Shaper would enter immunity and just go like ball 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 ball. That was like it's insane.
Yeah, it was terrifying. And one time on Uber Zeri, I messed up and didn't chill her before Flame Blast, and it's a very severe difference in speed.
Yeah. How did you feel about the removal of Fizz's Alley? Big fan as well for the no ailment immunity force?
Uh, I think it's definitely good that Vizniz is gone. I've never minded it too much for the ailment issue. I think in campaign, Vizniz makes the ailments really annoying, but typically every build is gonna strive to get immune to those ailments anyways eventually, especially with how easy it is nowadays. One of my main problems with Vizniz was always that its nature of conversion monsters just like doubling their damage with it was kind of silly, but Veritonian mobs aren't baseline anymore, and like they were the biggest problem. So if it came back, I don't think it'd be the worst thing, but I definitely prefer just generic monster damage.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said in the past too, we are hoping to get more boss specific things in the future. Maybe some scaling things, but that's probably even harder to do. But yeah, it's been an interesting gauntlet. Was there any like huge surprises to you?
I'm pretty surprised that wasn't cleared. Like, I mean, beforehand, I would have said like 95% someone clears it, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah, no. I thought like when you and Exile died and SSS was getting close, I was hoping he would at least die to the Feared. I was sad that he died to monsters.
Yep, I don't know what he was doing in a grotto map at that point. I'm actually curious because like there was no context for the rip, which is just a short clip, but I'm pretty sure from day 2.5 to 3 onward, I only did outdoor maps the entire time from Summit plus Ashenwood into Port plus I think it's Dry Sea, and then eventually with 3 Watchstones, Arid Lake, and Shore. Like it's just playing the game in indoor maps is so much more dangerous with multi-frog AoE and monster damage. Like there's just all kinds of different mob types that just end you.
Yeah. Were you surprised that nobody got a Mage Blood?
No, that item's pretty rare.
Yeah, but Headhunter is the same rarity, and I think there's 3 or 5 Headhunters.
Yeah, but all it takes for Headhunter is for one player to be as good as Alkaizer and just gamble it from 1 to 8, and then there you go.
That's true. That's excited. Yeah, and 2 mirrors this gauntlet. Last gauntlet, even though it had way, way more players, had 0 mirrors. That was crazy.
I think that probably has to do with Archnum. Like, Archnum currency is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty insane. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting gauntlet. What about are you're happy with the introduction of the Feared, or?
Yeah, I think the Fear is good, especially, well, mainly because of the current Atlas enabling you to pretty much have an RNG-free way to grind Cortex. I think with speeds that most builds can reasonably reach, you can average a Cortex like every 3.5 hours-ish faster if you are zooming,
Yeah.
which is very nice.
Yeah, like I didn't even get to do that much with the synth nodes in, and I got 2 Cortexes very fast.
Yeah, I killed a lot of map bosses
Yeah.
in this thing. It was a journey.
I think the biggest RNG becomes the invitations, like the formed and twisted and stuff like that was like what took me the longest time.
I think hidden is the one where you can really, really get unlucky because like I just unspec'd the Shaper and Elder nodes at some point because I just had like hundreds of those maps, so there's no point anymore. And when you have that many, like it's like a 15% chance to drop, you're gonna get it. But for breaches, like you can just keep running them forever with the amount of scarabs you get from altars. But if it's not on the map device and you get really unlucky, like 20 plus breaches, no breach stone, at that point your best bet is actually just boss rushing and hoping it drops from around a map boss, which is how I actually got both of my hidden invites. Was not from breaches, just from bosses.
Oh wow. Yeah, I dropped my hidden from a boss as well. Like that was a good thing about like, boss rushing for so long is that you do drop quite a lot of invitations. So is there anything you would like to see like changed or added in the next gauntlet or removed?
It's something we talked about in the past. Just a little less global damage, and then some unique boss damage added in there, so the bosses stay as challenging as they currently are. But mapping is a little more tame because right now, for the most meta builds like DD, it feels fine. But if I was going to try to actually embrace the class gauntlet and try to play things that aren't like the 2 best builds, I'm sure it's like actual pain to try to progress your character.
Yeah. Would you want bosses, like just bosses on their own, harder or the same difficulty as now?
I don't think they need to be harder than they currently are. Like these bosses are very challenging, but also, I mean, players can also get really, really strong if they survive and actually grind for like 120 hours with melding in the game now, and just how insane subs are on gear. You can just get 90 res, and it's weird.
So all I'm hearing is consecrated ground, life is extra ES.
No. Please, no healing. No, I thought the last minute Inquisitor push was a build that literally had 3 damage nodes. It is pathy nodes and 3 damage nodes. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Like it was just block, regen, max res, recovery, life, armor was like the entire tree, and it works, right?
Yeah, it was very tanky. I watched the Cortex and he was just standing there. He was like, yeah, you can't do anything. So I'm surprised it died to a Shaper Sam actually.
Yeah, that's just the power of Fizz mitigation.
Yeah.
Like, when you have that much armor versus hits that big, 25 Fizz DR is cutting your damage in half.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for performing amazingly as always, and congratulations on winning. This is your 4th gauntlet win, I believe.
Yes, I believe that is correct. Thank you very much, as always, for running the events. They're great fun. It's the thing I look forward to even more than League starts at this point, honestly.
Badass, dude. Thank you so much, dude. Give it up for Ben, absolute Giga Chad, and hopefully we'll see you for the next event too. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you. See ya.